Hi, my name is Audrey, and today I am going to be giving my informative speech over a LARP called Dagorhir. Have you ever seen a group of people in a park dressed up in weird clothing and hitting each other with weird looking weapons? What those people are doing is something called LARPing, which is an acronym for live action role playing. And at one point in time, I myself was one of those nerds out in the park every weekend. I was a participant for about 3 or 4 years and even ran a chapter for about a year or two. There are many styles of LARP all over the world, and according to Wikipedia, there are roughly 32 diverse types. However, the kind I'm familiar with and want to tell you about is called Dagorhir, or DAG for short. If you've ever heard of LARPing, it was more than likely something that was made fun of. Dagorhir, however, is a competitive style of LARP that thousands of people take seriously and attend a huge event called Ragnarok every year. There are 3 basic things you'll want to know if you're interested in getting into DAG, such as getting a basis for garb and weapons. Once that's established, you'll need to know the basic combat rules, and finally, you will need to know that there are risks involved. When first starting out, it's not expected for you to come prepared with an amazing kit put together already. However, in order to participate, you will need appropriate garb. With DAG, the style of garb resembles the medieval ages with some fantasy thrown in, like out of The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings. And as a beginner, it's acceptable to wear a simple tunic, and it can be made out of a linen type fabric. Sometimes even an old bed sheet can work. There's plenty of tutorials online that you can follow to make your tunic. And for pants, scrub pants with no visible pockets or logos and a dark or neutral color will suffice. And when it comes to your footwear, you'll also want to make sure that they are of a neutral or dark color, and no white tennis shoes are allowed on the field. In the rules handbook posted on the Dagorhir website, other illegal or forbidden garments are jeans, camo print, regular t-shirts, or any form of modern clothing. This picture is a prime example of what not to wear. And just to give you an idea of just how in-depth people can get with their kits, there's this picture. It can get very creative. Once you've been garbed up, you'll need to learn the weapons and what they do. There's several categories, such as blue, red, green, yellow, and white. Here's some blue weapons, which vary in size. They're primarily a one-handed weapon. Blues can be used with a shield in the other hand, or even 2 swords at a time. And then there's red weapons, which are larger and have a longer range. They are used with 2 hands only, and these type of weapons can pierce armor and break shields with 2 hard, heavy hits. And then green weapons are stab only, such as daggers and even spears like the ones pictured here, and those are greens. The last 2 types of weapons are certainly used, but maybe not as popular. There are yellow weapons, which are projectiles, like items such as arrows and javelins. Then there are white projectiles. The main type of weapon considered in this category are rocks. Rocks are made of mainly foam with a cloth covering, almost similar to that of a Nerf ball. All weapons are inspected at every practice and event to ensure the safety of participants. Now that you're situated with proper garb and equipped with an inspected weapon that you want to use, it's important to know the rules of fighting. There's strike zones, which are arms, legs, and torso area. Just a quick run through of the strike zone. If you're hit in your arm or leg, that's considered a loss of the limb and you have to drop anything you're holding, or if it's a leg, you have to go down on one knee. If you're hit in 2 limbs, that's considered a death. And then the torso area is your shoulders, chest, stomach, crotch, and sides, also your back and your butt. If you're hit in that area, it's a death and you have to exit the field of play immediately. Please do not linger or play dead on the field because you could get trampled on and hurt. You also have your no-go off-limit zones. That's your head and neck. And the only types of weapons that can hit this area are yellow and white projectile weapons. DAG is one of very few types of LARP that allow for physical type of contact, such as grappling and shield bashing. On the official DAG website, in the rules manual, a shield bash is defined as using a shield to strike an opponent starting from a distance more than 2 steps away, using the force of your body and shield to knock them over. There are many rules to help keep DAG safe, but a fast-paced and hard-hitting combat can lead to risks, but it's still fun. DAG does run on an honor-based system, meaning that players do not call shots that they make on another player. So for instance, if you're hitting somebody in the arm, you can't yell it out. The other player must make that determination. To keep players in check, there are referees that are called heralds on the sidelines, and their call is final. Players must abide by it. If a player is not calling their shots that are made, then sometimes it could be because they considered the hit too light, or the hit could have grazed their guard and not made any contact. And sometimes the player could just be outright cheating. That's certainly not uncommon. A general rule of thumb in that instance is to hit that player harder. That way you know for sure they felt it. And on that note of hitting somebody harder, DAG's really not to be taken lightly at all. When out on the field, there is plenty of potential to get hurt. For this reason, everybody must sign a waiver. These waivers are there to help protect those in charge. It also ensures that those fighting are aware of the risks involved while participating. So anyone under the age of 18 years of age must have a parent signed and notarized waiver on file in order to play. That concludes my presentation. Hopefully I have piqued an interest into LARPing a bit, or at the very least have educated you in the competitive nature of DAG and how seriously participants take it. You should now know how to begin dressing yourself in the correct attire, have an idea of the types of weapons you would like to use, a basic knowledge of the rules, and are aware of the risks involved while participating. If I have piqued your interest, I highly encourage you to look for the closest group to you, or maybe even research other LARPs that could be of interest, and all the fun things involved. Thank you so much.